Okay, hi, we're here to give you some movement standards for the workouts this Sunday. It's very exciting. We have Marcus Philly here to give you the special movement standards because he's such a good standard. So for the first workout, you have front squats. So Marcus is going to show you how to do a front squat. You will have a rack there. You'll be taking it off the rack. And really the only requirement is that you have the bar in the front rack position and you get to full depth, which means hips are below your knees. You can see clearly that his hips are below his knees. So stand up, and why don't you do one to about parallel? So that's going to be a no rep. It's super close, you can see, but there's a difference if he goes all the way down versus the hip just parallel. Okay, you can stand up. Pretty straightforward. You've got 5 reps to do in a row. You can rest it on the rack position, not on the actual rack, but on your own human rack, as long as you want, but you cannot, within those 5 reps, put it back on the rack to rest.
Begin.
Okay, so back to this overhead squat. There's another thing you want to make sure that you do, and that is open your hips fully at the top. You can see Marcus is fully open with his knees and hips. He goes down to his squat. That would be a no rep because his hips are not fully extended. You can see it pretty clearly. But as he cycles quickly, sometimes it's not quite so obvious. He's not quite opening up. But now, if he does open up, it becomes a little exaggerated. Good. Now you can see it slows him down a touch. Do that because it's way better than getting no reps for speeding up and not opening up your hips. So that what the complex we just showed you is for people who are going prescribed. You're going to have 5 rotations of that complex in your AMRAP. If you are going scaled 1, the version you will have is 5 pull-ups and 5 toes to bar. You can use any grip you want, just like normal, and you can come off the bar as often as you want. So Marcus is going to show us, maybe he does 3 in a row, kipping. And then he fatigues, he shakes it out, gets back up on the bar. He only had 2 in him. Okay, good. So let's say he's done 5, and now he can do 5 toes to bar. Same thing, he can do 5 in a row, or he can do as many as he can, and he can rest as often as he needs. For scaled 2, your version is going to be jumping pull-ups. You're going to have 10 jumping pull-ups, and then 10 knees have to come up to above your belly button. So we're going to have a standard height for the jumping pull-ups. Okay, so the second part of this AMRAP, after you've done your overhead squats, you're going to come to the pull-up bar, and you're going to do a little complex here that has 4 parts to it for each complex. So Marcus is going to jump on the bar in a pronated grip, and this does matter. He's going to do a pull-up. He's going to do a toes to bar. Then he's going to stay on the bar, switch his grip to a chin-up position, both hands. Then he's going to do a pull-up and a toes to bar.
Quick question. Does it have to be strict?
No, I was about to say that. So Marcus can take a rest, shake it off. That's one complex. He did it right because he did not come off the bar in the middle. If Marcus gets up there and he does a pull-up, and then he realizes, oh shoot, I'm too fatigued to do a toes to bar, I shake it out, that pull-up then doesn't count. He has to restart the whole complex. Total bummer, so manage your system. Okay, so you can see Marcus is now doing the whole thing again, but he's kipping this time. He switches his grip, and now he's kipping again, and kipping his toes to bar. That's totally fine. Nothing about strictness requirements. Okay, so for scale 2, you're going to do 10 jumping pull-ups and 10 knees to your belly button height. So the standard for the jumping pull-ups, the judges all know this, but you have to take your hand and show 4 fingers below your wrist, and that's where the bar is going to hit you. Okay, so everyone's going to be at the same standard relative to their size. So Marcus is going to be doing jumping pull-ups. His chin has to get over the bar, and he has to come to full extension at the bottom. Okay, so why don't you do a couple where you don't come to full extension? So that would not count, okay, because his arms are bent. For the knees above belly button, he's going to be hanging at full extension. So you'll remove the jumping, you'll just move over, I guess. And you will raise your knees to above belly button height and back down. That counts as 1. So you'll have 10 of those. Everybody's having fun.
Go.
Okay. So for workout 3, you're going to have a workout for time with dumbbells. And the first movement you're going to do with the dumbbells are single arm snatches. So the requirement is that the dumbbell has to start on the ground, resting on the ground in between every rep, and you have to alternate arms. So Marcus is going to start with his right hand. You can start with whatever hand you want. He dumbbell rest in between. He stands up. He helped it on the way down, but he then let it rest on the floor and goes again. So do it fast where you're doing it right. It doesn't have to stay there for long. It's a split second where it's actually resting on the floor. So now he's going to show you a no rep where he transfers on the way down. He switches hands on the way down, that's a no rep. Switches hands, that's a no rep. Okay. Now he's going to show one where he's cycling so quickly that he doesn't actually come to full extension before he puts the dumbbell down, and that's also going to be a no rep. That's good. He's good at that. So you can
Good cheater. He's a good cheater.
He's putting the dumbbells down. He's like an idiot.
Wow.
So don't do that. Okay, good. Then the next part, after you've done 20 of those, 10 each arm, you're going to get your second dumbbell and you've got a hanging squat clean. The hang has to come from below the knee. You stand up straight, hang, and then you go into your squat clean. All the way down, hips below parallel. We don't care if you short room it, which means you don't fully extend your hips on the way down. If you want to do that, that's fine. But you do need to still stand up to full extension and you need to get in your full squat. And again, looking funny. Excellent. Okay, same thing as before. Do one where you don't stand up all the way with your dumbbells before you put them down. So he's going to start, this happens a lot, so watch out for this. He's going to bring his dumbbells down before he stands up. That's a no rep, okay? You have to stand up, do one last one, right? Sorry. You'll stand up, full extension, and then you can put your dumbbells down. One last thing, if you drop your dumbbells, whether it's during the snatches or the squat cleans, just like with the barbell and the overhead squats, if you dump and you drop it, you have a 10 burpee penalty. Okay, so this is part of the floater workout for the prescribed athletes only. You're going to have 3 portions to your floater, which is a prowler push right into a run, short run. That's done separately, and then throughout the morning you'll have time to go to the med ball toss station. It's actually going to be a slam ball in the real thing, and you will be able to do it. It only takes a couple minutes per athlete. So Marcus is going to demo with a med ball. It's actually going to be a 50-pound slam ball for men or a 35-pound slam ball for women, so they don't roll as much and it'll be a little bit harder. You're going to have 2 lines.
4 prescribed. 4 prescribed.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Only prescribed is doing this event at all, TJ. On the line, you'll have 2 tape lines. That's where your feet can go. If you step out of those tape lines, it's a no rep. Okay? So be careful if you're going to jump. You don't want to move over the tape. If your foot's a little bit on the tape, that's fine, but once it goes over, you're in trouble. Okay, so you can throw this ball however you like. The only rules are your feet have to be start from a standing position. If you want to jump when you leave the ground, that's fine, but you can't do a running start, obviously, because your feet, that would be hard to run in that short distance. Okay, so Marcus is going to show a couple of different ways you might throw this ball. You're also going to have a lane to throw it in. If it goes outside the lane, it's a no rep. You'll have 2 attempts. I think it's 30 seconds apart, but we'll go over that Sunday. Okay, so Marcus is going to throw the ball behind his head this way. And wherever it stops is where he's going to be measured. And this is a good example. You can show TJ, I don't know if it comes out on video, that his ball actually would have gone out of the lane. So part of this is accuracy, but that's unlikely to happen with a slam ball.